post notes that I made on my laptop and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like I didn't have as many notes as I thought.
Wait till he sees this.
I
One
got
note.
2 weeks worth of note. I looked up this shit is last week's last week's episode. I said,
Yeah,
But-
I got a few like that has like accumulated over the days and everything. Like,
is that right? Well, if anything, I know you already drank your drink.
nah, I got it right here.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
I got this joint right
I'm
here.
about to be the only nigga.
You know. I'm pretty sure, as y'all have noticed, we're in a whole new setting right now. You know what I'm saying? We in my official apartment. You know
Hence
what I'm
the
saying?
drinks.
Hence the drinks. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm
It's a
saying?
celebratory
Yeah.
situation. You know what I'm talking about? It's been a long time coming. This shit.
It would be only right for me to say how you feeling. Is that lock?
What?
The door.
Yeah, it's locked.
All right, man.
Yo, I be checking that shit like all the time now. Like whenever I think it's unlocked, I go to check it to be locked. I wake up in the middle of the night and do that shit.
You notice any of the habits moving in on your the differences living on your own?
I shit
as
with the door
opposed to you shit with the door open.
Yes.
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 Okay, that's the first thing.
Yes. Like yo, because at first I caught myself ready to close. I'm like, ain't no one gonna see me doing
exactly,
my thing.
exactly.
Like,
Keep the air flowing in.
yeah, like goddamn, like,
Yeah.
this is my house.
Yeah. What are some other fucking instances you caught that was the difference between? You know what I'm saying?
How loud things can be and everything.
He said, and everything.
And everything, you know, whether it be music or, you know, everything. You know, nigga can be loud as you want to be. You know what I'm saying?
There's a different comfort there. Like
Even when, and it sounds weird, but like talking to myself, like usually if I'm back at home and I'm talking to myself, like it's a lower register. When I'm here, I'm kind of talking as loud as I'm talking now.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, well, who's going to hear me?
Yeah, and if it's the neighbor's phone.
Yeah, they'd be like you must be on the phone or something. Like, no, I'm talking to me.
No, you're talking to me. I do that shit all the time. I do that shit all the time.
Because it's like, who's paying attention to all that?
Now,
Like,
see, the thing is, when I be at, like, say, work or something, I'll do that, too, and people will catch me, and I have no qualms, and, like, you gonna be talking to me? Yeah, that's me.
yeah, well, when I'm at the job, though, I definitely be talking lower. Like, just because, like...
Nope, not at all. No, one babe, she was like, my brother, he said, this nigga be having full conversations with himself, I'm pretty sure. I was like, he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. He said, I'm pretty sure this nigga talks to himself. I said, yep, that's me.
But you figure out a whole lot when you, like, start to talk to yourself.
I'm telling you, I'm my best therapist. Sometimes I got the best and worst advice for myself.
Nah, facts, for real. Goddamn. But yeah, this is a real, this is the moment, you know what I mean? It's been a long time coming, so I want to make a toast, you know what I'm saying? I want to make a toast just to new beginnings, more adventures, more life, and just overall just happiness and success for both of us. So cheers, nigga.
Cheers, man. Life is good.
Life is good.
You got a young bull stain, y'all.
Where are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the camera picked it up if it's as HD as the rest of the episodes have been.
I mean, how big? You fine, got it.
Yeah, it just did this little drip, Joe.
That shit said flute.
Oh,
Lifesavers.
yeah. Hey, shit.
Niggas said cram.
Tony Baker.
This nigga Crambleton. But speaking into that, like, I just want to take like this opportunity to reflect on some things.
Okay.
And just go over like where I've been, where we've been, and what what the things are going to be going forward. So pretty much, when you met me, it was just we were kids and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it was we were kids, immature. We had our own little way of looking at the world. Well, I speak for myself. I have my own way of looking at the world, and a lot of my experiences kind of, I would have focus, but then I would have things that would distract me a whole lot. Whether that been like girls, like games and stuff like that, just being immature, just being a boy. and it wasn't until around my senior year in high school where one of those switches happened where I started to take things a tad bit more serious. Not a whole lot serious, just a little bit more serious than usual, right? Because it was like, all right, nigga, you gonna either have to take this shit serious or you're gonna be in 12th grade again.
Right.
Didn't want to do that.
That happened to me in 9th grade.
Yeah, like fuck all that shit. So, I pass, I graduate, and that's a milestone right there. And now it's like, college time.
Yeah.
And I was taking it serious all the way through the first semester until the second semester. Because that day when you came, you broke it down for your boy.
I don't remember this occasion as much as at least what you're referencing. What you mean? What happened?
So you came to visit me at college or whatever.
Right.
I
think remember there was a couple times I would just come up and kick it.
Well, this was one of the first times you did. I think you either had spent the night or you came back 2 different times.
Must have came back 2 different times because I don't remember an occasion where I spent the night.
Yeah. I remember
Maybe I did spend the night though.
Because I remember someone was leaving and you slept in there. I think Tyreek had left for the weekend.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think I slept on a couch or chair setup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think you did spend the night.
I did spend the night.
Because we were there, we had breakfast in the morning, and then we went to the BSU meeting.
We did. That night. You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
But that night, that time you came over, this was like right around the time you had dropped out and everything.
Yeah.
And you were telling me about your experience and shit, and it put into my head like do I really even need to like be here? Because at the time I was already a little frustrated at the fact that I was here, I was in college, but I wasn't necessarily happy being here. I was happy at first because it was a new experience and I was excited.
And forgive me, I know the camera sees me like doing a wink thing. My nose has been like running and shit. So, yeah. But continue, I'm listening.
But the excitement had ran its course when I came back from like winter break, and we had to come back and through the second semester, and I found myself just being so uninterested in it. I didn't want to do it no more. And hearing your perspective on it and like how the road you've taken, it was like, all right, like maybe that's an avenue that I can be in,
Right.
And then went back home, had a conversation with my parents. And that was a milestone.
Your mom was mentioning that to me, like when, because mainly for me, I dropped out of school because I couldn't afford it. Mm-hmm. Like I would have stayed in school had I had the money to, but I think at that point, I thought shit was just working out for me magically until I realized that as an adult, you have to put in the work to make things work out for you.
Right.
And that was my adult threshold, so I didn't know that was the time had come. Mm-hmm. And once that price tag came up and my mom's didn't have it and I didn't have it either, well, I just couldn't go back. So, like, I made the best of the situation. However, in hindsight, I didn't imagine that I had influenced your decision prior to that. I had considered it, and I didn't know if you were leaving for the right reasons.
Well, I was already losing interest in it.
Good. Okay. Not good. I'm just making sure it wasn't like Manny said.
Well, no. It wasn't even all you, but it was more so, I guess, confirmation hearing it from you. That
right.
I didn't have to feel bad.
It wasn't the only way.
I didn't have to feel bad about like dropping out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I went back to school anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I just didn't want to go there.
Right.
It wasn't serving me to be there altogether, right? Because I wasn't feeling it. I didn't like the classes I was taking that semester, and I felt like I was really honestly just at one point wasting my time.
Right.
Like it was like, yo, like what the fuck am I even doing here? Like I don't even.
I'm just here.
Yeah, I'm just here. Like I don't want to do this no more.
Makes sense.
And luckily. I'm grateful and I'm blessed to have parents who understood that and supported me through it, and was right along with me. They was like, well, we don't want you to waste money being somewhere you don't want to be at.
Right.
That would be stupid. So,
makes sense.
So again, boom, milestone, and then me getting my first job. You know what I mean? working at the collection agency. And
I was laughing because I remember when you explained to me your first day at McDonald's. It was like,
yo,
said,
we jumping forward a little bit. But yo, I worked for McDonald's for one day. One day. That was my first and last day on the job. Man, because at the time, I was already working at the restaurant. I was washing dishes and cleaning shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to try to get like a second job and whatnot. Boom, right? So I applied for McDonald's. Go for the interview. And what already had me mad, the lady was like, oh, she was a Mexican lady. Well, we love you so much. But she was like, you have to get rid of this. And I was like, I said, huh? You have to get rid of this. The beard. I was like,
no.
I'm like, okay. So I go home, shave all this, but I keep my chin here.
Yeah.
I just like lower it a little bit. Coming that first day, she's like, oh, no, you didn't get it. I was like, you bitch. So already I was mad, because I was like, I'm not coming in here baby face on this one. You got me, it took me too long to grow this shit out. You got me all the way fucked up. I still got the pictures. If my hard job was working, I'll show you the pictures when I shaved my shit. I was so mad I had to do that.
Fuck.
That was strike one. Strike two, the bitch who's training me at the fucking register, this fat bitch fucking talking about some. So when people come over here, you gotta just press the buttons on here and they're gonna tell you what they want. And then you gotta get the change. I'm like,
that was too simple.
I was like, all right. So I'm standing beside her while she's like ringing some people up, like the first few people.
Yeah.
And I'm just like watching her. But the menu behind the screen is so confusing. If you actually saw that shit,
it looked like a database.
Yo,
like
nigga,
for the Navy.
This is some literal rocket science. I was like, what the fuck?
He said, oh, this for a double cheeseburger.
Some goddamn nuggets.
He said, oh, please don't ask me for the quarter pounder. I like the quarter pounder meal with
so look, when it was my turn, right? It was my turn to fucking start ringing people up. So she's like, all right, so you know what to do, right? I'm like, no. She's like, well, go ahead. You gonna figure it out. I'm like, oh my God. So next people come up. This lady and her 5 kids. Kids running all around.
Everything.
Running around the whole damn store. She like, Riri, what you want? What you want? Let me get a girl's Happy Meal. And James, what you want? And
James, what you want?
Yo, and naming all the shit, I'm just like, I'm over here.
Panic attack.
Yo, I didn't know. I gave this bitch the wrong order and everything. Fuck this whole shit up. She got her, she was like, I gave this bitch a cheeseburger, a fish fillet, on top of shit, a McCafe. Yo, this bitch.
And you knew you was getting it wrong too, and sat there at the register and said, okay.
Yo.
You said, oh,
Kobe. So look, I fucked her order all the way up. Next people come in, these Asian folk come in, right? Ain't speak a lick of English.
What the fuck did they want?
Yo, they came in and it was like, oh, no, never mind. I'm not gonna do the accent. I'm not gonna do the accent, everybody.
You was supposed to be racist.
I'm not even gonna do it. I'm not even gonna do
Whatever
it.
You start with the O.
Yo, so look, they come in there and I can barely understand what the fuck they're saying, but essentially she was saying I want a fish fillet sandwich with a large French fry, but it didn't sound like that to me.
Fish fillet.
This bitch said Chick-fil-A. I was like, so, and then her husband was trying to tell me, he was whispering. I was like, sir, I can't hear you, sir. Sir, I can't understand you. Fuck, they order all the way up too.
Oh, Jesus.
So the girl came out, she was like, you've been having a hard time today, huh? Oh, man, let me do it.
Shit.
I was like,
explain shit to
bitch,
you.
you supposed to be training me. You supposed to be training me.
She said, you just stupid, huh?
You just a dumbass nigga, huh? Dumbass nigga. I was mad as shit. So that whole day, so it was my break time, right? The manager dude's
That's the contemplation time.
So look, the manager, he's like, Kobe, you want to take a break? I'm like, yes. My feet hurting standing up for the fucking those 5 hours. He was like, what, you can get You get a McCafe or whatever, you know what I mean? It's free,
Yeah.
you know, for our workers. It's hot. They make me one. I go sit down in the back. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? So I'm like, man, I pull out my phone. I'm like, pros and cons. I'm being at this motherfucker. I was like, pros, money, cons, 12 other fucking things. I was like, man. I was like, all right. So after my break, I come back. I'm back at the register and shit. Fucking up people's orders all day long, giving them the wrong change and everything, fucking it all the way up. I go home.
Didn't give a fuck.
Man, listen, I worked on a Friday, right?
You knew that was your last day.
It was. I either worked on a Friday, I worked on a Saturday, and then Sunday we had to go to church next morning, right?
Man.
So I was supposed to come back in that Sunday. I was at church with my dad, right? I was like, yo, I'm not going back to that church.
She was at church like, amen.
I talked to God. I was like, God, you don't want me over here flipping no burgers, man. Dude. I said, please, give me a sign.
He said, have a great patty.
So I call him up. I'm like, yo. I'm like, it's Colby.
He said, have a McCafe.
I'm Mick Quitting. So I'm like, hey, it's Kobe. Sorry to inform you guys, but I don't think I'm coming back in. And the dude's like, he ain't give me no pushback. He's like, oh, okay. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Okay, well, do you think you can return? Because they gave me like a visor, like one of the McDonald's visors and everything. Can you think you can return the visor and the shirt bag and everything? I'm like, yeah, I got you. Never returned that shit.
He said, no.
He
said, no, that's free merch.
They don't get none of this shit back.
I'd be geeking if you was telling the story wearing your McDonald's. He said, can you give the visor and the McDonald's come back?
I think
and just look at me with the camera.
It's either in one of these boxes or back at the crib, but I swear to God, I still kept that shit too. It was in my closet like this whole time, right?
That's the highs and lows of the journey though. Like I remember motherfucking, you talking about CMI, I remember when I left there, cause like, you know, at the time I was like, partially grateful. It was one of the best jobs I had at that point in my life. And it was the office job that I always wanted and shit. But by the same token, I was falling into my purpose, I felt like. And tapping into like writing and shit again. Excuse me. And actually putting music out. And so at the time, I was just like, man, I feel like I'm at the dumps in this job. I'm just waiting for them to fire me, basically, or not for me to not meet quotas or what have you. And I was just like, I need to reinvigorate my life. And so leaving there, it was actually one of the scarier moments of the journey, just because it was like it was the first time you get one of the better things. So you don't want to just, you fear giving that up because like it was the best thing you had thus far.
Right.
But yeah, taking that leap, I ended up at this, I was selling vacations at first and whatnot. And it was real easy at first because like, all you had to do was really get prospects for the salesmen that were going to be selling them. And so I would be placed in Sears, almost like we had a territory. You know what I'm saying? But like I would be in Sears and I'd be walking around looking for people to prospect for this
I didn't know that.
presentation and shit. Yeah, it was a real easy work at first, and I made like a bunch of money in a week. And the first time I made like over $700. They changed the rules so that like it wouldn't be as easy to get the goddamn money. And I knew something had to be up when they made that change in the rules. And soon after, I woke up one Friday and I'm just getting ready to go to work like it was a normal Friday. And I get a mass text message with all the people in the business saying that we're all out of a job.
That's just it's Friday. You don't got no job. You ain't got nothing to do. Go smoke with your boy Smokey.
I was like, okay, like everybody from me, my managers all down.
Wait. I'm in the country. I just thought about this shit. You really Smokey. Don't cry.
Oh. What's that?
Well, I was just talking about this awful looks. You keep tripping.
I was about to say, I said, how's that? I'm the one who beat up Debo. I'm the one.
First all, he whipped your ass at first.
Smokey. Wait, me? What?
You said Craig was fighting Debo, but Debo was whooping his ass at first.
Yeah. I get it. I said, wait.
I mean, either way, both the niggas was scared of that nigga anyway.
Yeah. I said, wait a minute. No, we talking about real life. Last time that happened to me, I was 7.
Wait. There's a Debo coming. It's like, oh shit.
Took your shit. No, I was looking at the plaid. And, I was like, was it Craig wearing the plaid?
I was talking about some more so because Craig had a beard.
Yeah. I said Craig had a beard. He said,
and Smokey was skinny nigga.
He said Smokey was a skinny pie. That's it.
And chicken coops. Look at that Jerry Bird.
Jerry Bird shitting in the bush. I said, I did all these things. Okay.
I'm a chicken coop ass nigga.
Yeah, man, like goddamn. I lost my. Oh yeah, like motherfucking.
Fired y'all.
I was like.
Stealing boxes.
Fuck out of here. A week later, I was in the same interview with some of the managers. Looking for a job. It was almost. It was embarrassing. But. Yeah, just the highs and lows of the journeys, the shit you gotta go through to get to the next step, next level.
But that McDonald's thing, that was a little bit up ahead of where I was going. But rewind back to first working at a collection agency. My first job, working with my dad and my brother and my mom and everything. Eventually, you. It was like I didn't get the sense of urgency. I wasn't all the way independent.
And see, at that time, I moved out just already,
yeah, like you were already out on your own, but for me, that journey hadn't even happened yet, right? Yeah. I wasn't totally independent. I was still doing whatever the fuck I felt like doing. Yeah. Being stupid with my money. Every lunch break, going to H&M on 69th Street. Right. You know what I mean? Like buying shoes and all type of shit. Right. Like, just because I had money and it was like the most money I ever had in my life. Yeah. Aside from when I had my savings bonds, but then I blew all that shit, which was stupid too. But that, when I can get it consistently and not really have bills and it's like I can like buy things now, like a whole new world. Like that way it was that for me. And then eventually feeling as though like I wasn't fully like I wasn't growing into what I wanted to grow to because I'm still a creative at the end of the day. I still wanted to write. By the time, mainly just wanted to write. I didn't discover photography at the time and filmmaking and stuff like that. So I quit. Actually, no, I quit because the first thing I quit was because I had the podcast. Yeah. I started the pod.
Don't remember. That time of my life gets foggy. I do know that like.
You were still working there when I had quit.
No, I quit before you did.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure I did.
Nah.
Or then you must have came back.
I did come back.
Oh yeah.
Because they called me. Because I quit the first time to work on to go full on.
You know what? I was still there when you quit.
And when I came back,
that was where the McDonald's story came in and shit.
Yeah, like that was in between that before I came back. Yeah. So I quit to actually
texted me about that shit when you was on your lunch break. You was like, I said, how that McDonald's getting go.
That shit was ass.
I quit.
So I quit to focus on my first podcast that I ever did, the Great Alexander podcast and everything. And was excited about it, and was trying to focus on doing film and everything. So I enrolled in the Full Sail University and was getting my degree in that. And was, like I said, just genuinely excited about it. Well, I didn't enroll in Full Sail yet. And that was a little bit later on before I came back.
Now, granted, I do remember that being a time in my life where I was just... this was before, there was a year that we wasn't speaking, but, like, it was gearing up to that because it was putting the thought in my mind like I explained to you recently, when is Cole going to get serious? Like, I was
getting into that.
Yeah, because, we had just both landed in an opportunity that was paying us as good as we had ever gotten paid at that time, that thus far. And so, for us to... not have capitalized on that moment, I was thinking, okay, Like, is he serious about these goals?
Let me get into it, right? So, like I said, this when I reflect over my life, I've always had opportunities, but then it'll be times where I was focused, and then there will be times where I was distracted too. So, and in the midst of all these times, at that time I was dating Shawty, and she was a distraction. It wasn't something that was helping me get any further. If anything, she was pulling and taking away so much from me. My time, my energy, my money, just anything. It was more, I was giving out more than I was receiving from that relationship. Huge distraction. And then when I started running out of money and realizing that I was really going to have to like figure out this whole podcasting thing, and I was new to it, and everybody wasn't even doing it at the time.
Right.
And it was a whole new sphere, and I was getting people to come on it. It was cool. You were on it twice, you know what I'm saying, on the same couch.
Now, granted, here's another. What is it? Same creative intervals, right? Like, okay, being as though what is it? The naturally speaking thing I was doing. These were a couple things that I feel like leading up to the time in which we weren't speaking were subconsciously eating at our relationship in my own mind. I was just like, how far when you had the pod going and the whole naturally speaking idea, the one thing before we had even embarked on what we're doing now is because we had such different ideas on how we wanted a podcast to go. Mm-hmm. Mine being the idea of just let's have a natural conversation and record it without us even knowing or something, or one of us knowing. And the other one being more so a little more produced. And so like being as though we had that difference of opinion and how it would operate, that's how the two kind of separated, being the Great Alexander and Naturally Speaking. And
well, I think I had mine before you started yours though.
If you look at the timeline, I don't think that was the case.
I definitely,
because I started recording our conversations back at your old crib before we even left school. Remember?
I remember that, but it wasn't anything though. You didn't name it. You didn't really give it a thing. It was just you had conversations.
I guess this is where we're. What is it?
I guess. All right. So boom. So you had the idea of like recording our conversations and stuff like that, and like I said, our different perspectives on what a podcast would necessarily be, right? So for me, I'm saying like I was starting mine initially just because I was putting it out. You know what I mean? Like it was a thing that I was already doing ahead of time. Like you were doing it first as far as like just recording our conversations, but before it became Naturally Speaking, it was just our conversations just being recorded. Right.
But that was where I was getting to the idea of how we would do that. It just we didn't agree on how it could be done or how it would look.
You keep jumping ahead. I might even get to that.
Because goddamn, I'm remembering the timelines. I think shoulder spans.
So boom, right? So okay, at around that time, me starting my pod initially, and feeling like it wasn't necessarily going the way I wanted it to go. I was having a whole lot of my favorite episodes were the ones where I had a whole lot of people on there who did like music, specifically rappers.
Yeah,
and specifically all of them being from Delaware, which is cool. You know, I'm from here. I want to support my people and everything. Yeah. And I always wanted to show love and give them some shine too. And they thought my platform was a good thing to do too. It was a mutual respect thing. But I had the better conversations and the things that I saw that I wanted to keep doing when I had you on there, when I had my dad on there, when I had Kalani on there, my girlfriend at the time, when I had, who else did I have on there? My boy.
Well, that's the part of the rapping too.
Yeah, he was rapping too. When I had Malik on there, dude, be cutting my hair now. Like, he, like, all of y'all, like, it was those conversations. But my first episode with my friend back from college, when we shot it at the school.
At the school, yeah.
And that was like my best episode. And it was, I watched that episode back and be like, damn, yo, like, if I would have known, because I was already, how I feel nowadays,
Yeah.
I can see the seeds in myself then when I was having these conversations. And I'm like, damn, if I was a little bit more like, like stronger with like, and not being shaken with my opinion, not being easily swayed. Oh my God, like
you could have had content there.
yeah, but
Like,
I was being a little bit too in this case open-minded wasn't necessarily serving me, but I wanted to just hear different perspectives at that point. These days I can be open-minded but still have my own way of doing things. You know what I'm saying?
Open-minded, have my own way of doing things. I don't see it. I don't see there being a big difference for me then than there is now.
Well,
as far as that component is concerned.
Well, I'll tell you. Here's the difference, right? So, my open-mindedness then led me to be easily swayed in different directions.
Okay.
I didn't have a strong enough foundation in my own values and my own principles at the time. Easily influenced, easily. Anyone's particular, if it made sense, a lot of times if I just felt like you were right in what you're saying, or if you said it with enough conviction, it must have been true. These days I can still listen and be open-minded, but you want to change my mind. Like, you want to change how I feel about something, like, because these days I just don't really care that much.
Right.
Like, I'll listen to you and hear what you have to say, but I won't let that be. I won't internalize it like I used to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're still teachable though, like, because you
for
are
sure.
wrong, and some instances, like, and I'm not saying that to throw shade, because I know I'm speaking for myself as well. It's just like general senses. We are wrong in sometimes. So are you still open to being wrong?
Yeah, of course. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm fucking know it all. But what I'm saying is, then it any and everything would easily like influence me.
Okay.
I didn't have that mental fortitude or control to know what was some bullshit or what actually truly made sense for me.
Okay.
Because I receive new information all the time. I tell you about it.
Yeah.
Like, I read, you know what I'm saying? Like, I
100%.
watch the pods. Like, it's a lot of shit I take, and I'm still very much teachable, but I've grown as a man to understand what's for me and what's not for me.
Makes sense.
Excuse me. And again, specifically about that episode, me and my friend were talking about male and female perspectives on like dating and relationships and stuff like that. And my mind was on some whole other shit back then.
Do you remember any of your points?
One of them was like about how, like, I can't even fucking think of it right now. I watched it like months ago, but I just remember feeling and seeing that shit and just being like, yo, you was a bitch. Like, how can you sit here and let this girl like just say all this shit and you didn't even feel that way type time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just a total bitch. I hated that shit.
Yeah.
But to reel all that back in, had the pod, and then I needed another job, and then I found the job at the restaurant around the corner from my crib. Washing dishes, fucking busting tables, taking out the trash, miserable, making money under the table, getting paid shitty amounts, working late at night, smelling like fucking grease coming home.
You know what year this was?
This was 2017, I believe.
2017.
And then I had also enrolled. I didn't enroll in Full Sail yet. I enrolled in Full Sail. I got the call back from Ken.
Right.
One of those days. I was taking out the trash. It was a day just like this. Taking out the trash, sunny day. I stand outside, I'm looking up at the sky, I'm like, yo, what am I doing with my life?
Ken,
bro?
it was Ken.
Back from CMI.
I forgot his name. Oh yeah, dude that was doing the collections.
Yeah. He calls me, he's like, hey Kobe, we got an opportunity here, you can be making more than you were making before, and all you gotta do is this. I'm like, I'm there. I'm there. I finished that shift. I was happy as hell. Washing them dishes. It's the last time washing these fucking dishes.
Yeah.
I come home that night. I tell my mom, like, yo, listen, I'm going back. I'm going back, and it's gonna be great.
Makes sense. Around that time, what was I doing? I was like, after that. This is after the Sears shutdown thing. Goddamn, I went in a fundraising. That was
you were still working there when I came back.
Yeah. When you came back?
Yeah.
2017. I know I left CMI summer 2017, so you must have came back before the summer was over.
Yeah, I came back around that time.
And I left when around the time you came back.
Cause you was still. I remember this because one of the times you was fucking around and you hid underneath my desk and tried to scare me when I came back from break. I remember this shit. Cause you
I
was still.
don't.
I do. I remember that stupid shit.
The shit niggas do for last.
I remember you did that shit for real, for real. That's when I still had like my hair and everything. It was like I was growing it out at the time.
Yeah.
So I remember that shit.
The goofy shit you could get away with doing at the job. The other shit you could get away with doing at the job too. I said, the Benjamin. Shit.
So that was another milestone. Coming back to that, and then again at the time, being distracted. I think around that time, me and Shawty had broken up, and I found myself in a whole new relationship, and that relationship was real interesting. Only because she was a few years older than me. She had her own place, had her own car, and was really like pressuring me to, for lack of a better phrase, like get on her level, right? And I found that we had a whole lot of arguments and disagreements, and just because like she was pushing me, but not in the way that I was able to receive it then, and I felt a whole lot of like pushback to go from, because she was like feeling as though like like really like downplaying me at the time, like really downplaying me and my efforts and my abilities, and made me feel so much less than at the time. And I didn't understand like what this was even about at the time, but looking back on it, I'm like, oh, like really what it was is that optimistically I'm looking at it, at least the one side of me was looking at it as like, you wanted me to get to a certain point where I'm actually like leveling up just as a man and being more than what I'm actually am right now. But I was pushing her back from that, because I'm just like, I'm just not at that point in my life right then and there. Like I'm still living at home, back in school, I'm back at my job that I used to have, I'm making more money at, and I'm still trying to figure this shit out. At the time, I think I was only like 19, 20 maybe, around that point in time.
Okay.
And you know, but I didn't understand then what I understood now, which is that to be that kind of man would take a whole lot more than I understood it would be, to be like a certain, like a more advanced like ascended version of me, if that makes sense.
The narcissist in me, and the narcissist in me is talking about someone outside of myself too much.
What do you mean?
I realize throughout this conversation we've been unraveling the steps in your lifetime that are leading up to this moment, and we're in the year 2017 at this point. We have a couple more years to go, and I'm thinking about the hours in which we're going to spend this podcast in this world. What other conversations are we about to have? I'm drinking, and the narcissist in me is speaking through the drink as well, more so than the honesty. What is it? I know earlier this week we had we not even debacle. We more so butted heads on I forget. I'm on this in this moment. I'm forgetting what it was about, but I know we oh yeah, it was simple shit. You left your
my hard drive.
Your hard drive at the crib. Okay, and this is when I just remembered this as you were speaking. I was of the mind that how one operates to become better friends. How do you operate as good friends, and how do you how do you even quarrel as friends? You know what I'm saying? Like, goddamn, I know, like, given all the understanding that we do have, everything is not always peaches and cream. How does one, how do you carry a friendship for 15 years? Like, between the disagreements and despite the headbutts, how do you, like, maneuver that?
See, I like how you just changed the whole subject, but
it was just it spoke to me, and I was like, I wouldn't be being real to myself or anything if I didn't come out of my head with what I'm saying to myself.
Just can't listen to a nigga story, that's all.
But I'm sorry.
Just can't hear a nigga story.
I was like, I was there, nigga. I was there.
He wasn't there for that.
No. I wasn't.
Yeah, see.
No.
But to answer your question, so that situation, right? When it comes to genuine friendships and relationships has to last long, you have to look at the bigger picture of things. And as a nigga who's been in a lot of relationships and had a lot of disagreements and arguments and fights and all that type of shit, you have to learn to know that if you want to stay together, you have to learn how to forgive, move on, and learn. Okay. And as friends, that has to be even more prevalent because it isn't a romantic relationship. Right. It's a platonic one. So the connection we have isn't necessarily intimacy on a physical level. It's intimacy on more of a personal level. Right. So to be personal and personable, you have to understand who you're dealing with. And I know if I'm dealing with you, I'm gonna have to, like, you know what I mean, maneuver with you being the person you are. This is what it is.
This is a very it's a learning process. I remember when I was like, I know we lived on like 7th base, so I can't say what the year was, but it was Lois Lane. So it was around the time I was in 2nd grade, 1st grade, some shit like that. However, I knew then I was a bad friend. Like, what is it? I was sitting there. What is it? The group of kids was sitting there, and we was about to play a game or something. My friend Vondi is telling them how it's going to go. I was like, no, shut up. It's going to go this way. Shut up. And that's just how I treated my friends. And it was just like years later, like up in middle school maybe or some shit, I was just like, man, like I'm not a good guy. But like
I'm a bad rabbit.
So I'm trying to learn, like, even in my adult life now, I'm trying to learn how to like motherfucking navigate friendship and how you even operate with people, cause like shit, man.
It's so funny. I had a total opposite experience from that. So if anything, I would enforce. So like you said, you'd be like, nah, fuck all that, we doing this. People just look to me to just be the leader. Shit, automatically. Like my little group of friends at elementary school, like we all go to recess, like, all right, so look, we're gonna play tag, and you would like, oh, I'm like, well, let's do this. I'm like, but then let's do that. Like it was a whole, like it was a thing, but everyone looked to me like to figure out what the fuck we were gonna do at recess. You know what I mean? And then my best friends I had along in each grade, we would just somehow connect on something. Like me and my boy Jared, like we would just like us just connect on just laughing at stupid shit that we would see. You know,
and it was the same case. Like I found myself to be bossy, like just have and it's got a lot of traits that I see in my adulthood, and I was just like, all right, now I'm just looking for the balance, because if I don't, for example, the reason I hijacked the conversation a second ago was just because, well, that and also because in my own head I'm thinking this is becoming the Kobe cast. Like we talking about his life story.
I did say I wanted to reflect up until this point.
Makes sense.
I did say that.
Makes sense
in the very beginning.
But you see how my brain works, like yeah. So like,
what about me? every time you interrupted me, like you start talking about you, I was like, we go with that.
I was like, wait a minute, they think this. Hold on now, you can't forgive. But yeah, see, and that's what I'm working on. That's what I'm working on. Like, goddamn, I think because I take it as a slight to me.
So boom, right. So,
Right,
so
right.
now we.
But
fine.
you get where I'm talking about, right? Like
Now we
I
fine.
take it as a slight. I'd be like, if I don't consider myself, then I won't be considered, and I'll always be in the back burner.
Well, here's the thing, right? So, do you want to know my opinion?
I'm listening.
I think that a lot of times.
I see you smiling while you're saying it, so it's gonna be like a. Alright, what you
I
got?
think a lot of times that like you said, if it isn't if you don't feel like you're being considered, you're gonna feel like you're not gonna be considered. But in reality, a lot of times it doesn't have to always be you first.
Maybe it's me that's not considering.
Maybe it's you who's not considering the other folk.
I said, wait, what about me?
Like it was a line of people. Like, wait,
their
I should be in the
shit?
front.
It's their birthday. I said, me.
Where are my presents?
Where's my cake?
My nigga, birthday until next year.
No.
Sorry, your
but,
birthday already passed.
Like, it's a balance. I mean, so I can understand that. While on the other hand, I'm still fearful of not being considered.
Well, here's the thing. All right, so boom. So, you know me, dog.
Yeah.
I'm your dog.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and.
Now, if you know me, you know I trust it.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So boom, go back to the friendship thing because I know you and I embrace you and I love you and I respect you and I already know who I'm dealing with.
Okay.
If I didn't want to deal with all this, this would never be a thing. This would be a thing.
Makes sense.
But because I've already chosen you as my nigga, pretty much. Pause.
I said.
Nigga, I choose you.
I said, fuck him up. Oh, it's Jim Gary.
There's no Kobe Oak. So, like, the fact that, we cool and we're friends and that, you are who you are and I am who I am. Nigga, I'm just a very accepting nigga overall. Mm-hmm. And that's where I feel like our dynamic is the best.
Right.
So if I already know you to be the other side of the coin, I'm expecting a lot of
intro to your extra.
Yeah, I'm already expecting a lot of your reactions or your feelings or thoughts towards things because that's just who you are.
Okay.
That's who you are, and I don't really have intention on changing you. You know what I mean? I think there's some things you could probably improve on, but that's not up for me to decide.
Right.
That's up for you to figure out. And like you saying, when's Cope gonna mature?
Right.
You couldn't mature me for me.
Right. I
can't see him like, when he's gonna fucking start being more optimistic.
Right.
I can't control that. You gonna have to figure that shit out yourself, my nigga. Like, I can show you what it is by just being that. Yeah. The way you show me what it is to be more mature, I can show you what it's like to be a little more happier about life.
Makes sense.
You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense. You was mentioning that earlier when you was bringing up the whole thing of just getting clothes. Mm-hmm. Something as simple as that. Like, goddamn. Because you feel good, you look good, and you want to go out. You want to be seen. You want to do stuff. And that was the main thing. Like, I was like, man, what am I getting new clothes for? What am I gonna do? Stuff. Like, live. Like, but all right. Now, with that being said, where were you at in your lifetime? I said you was at 2017. Like, you had a bitch. I can be more considerate.
So at the time, the girl I was with, she was pressuring me to be more than what I was ready to be at the time. Mm-hmm. And like you saying, not being totally mature. I was mature, but not the nigga I am today.
Okay.
We break up, fast forward, and then I think that's when me and my parents, we leave because my dad is starting his own business, starting to work with him. And that's when I discovered I wanted to make Kaz Media. I was like, yo, I want to do all these fucking things and I don't really know how to even, you know what I'm saying, finagle it. And I created the whole logo for it and just was trying to, figure it out. I was like, yo, I want to do all these things, but put it underneath just one umbrella of just who I am and that embodies me. So boom, milestone, created Kaz Media. Fast forward some more, I get the opportunity to start doing door-to-door. And I'm just like, all right, this is something whole new. I don't even know what this is, but I want to do it because it's a new experience. I'm going to be able to see different things and do just something totally new. Did it for a few months, and I was like, yo, I'm moving out. I'm moving to Philly with these niggas who I work with, and we gonna do it. Like, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I believe, and sure enough, man, like that. And we reference it a lot because at that point, that was the biggest milestone in my life.
Seriously,
where a lot of my growth and development happened.
And what year was that?
That was 2018 to 2019 into 2020.
That's crazy.
So I started 2018 around my birthday.
Yeah.
Like May. And then I turned 22 while I was in the business. And then, boom, it came 2019. No.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure 2018 I started doing door to door.
No, I started 2019. My bad. I started because I'm 23 this year. But yeah, okay, so boom. I started 2019 and then did that shit. And like that being the biggest thing that had like the most impact in my life up until that point.
Right.
Because before then, it was the distractions that had made impacts in my life emotionally, but none so much to make me better as a man like this did.
Yes, door to door I will say develops you. Just all your brain like
I had to be a leader. I had to learn how to communicate. I had to learn how to teach, how to coach, how to listen. Mm-hmm. I had to learn how to be considerate. Mm-hmm. I had to just do a lot. And with a lot of things I had to be, I wouldn't say forced to do, but be told to do, and had to be a team player and had to, step outside of myself a lot, which I wasn't used to doing all the time. And get comfortable just going outside and having to interact with 100 people a day, damn near.
Right.
And having to lead people and guide people through them shits. Like, just a huge growth in that time. And then the pandemic hit, and one of the girls I was seeing at the time gave me an ultimatum, and which was a poor decision on my part and a huge mistake on my part. And decided to be with her, let her moved in. Long story short, big mistake. Huge fucking mistake. Never let a girl who ain't your wife move in with you. Fuck that.
Jesus.
Huge mistake on that. Learned a huge lesson. Had to come back home.
You gotta get that.
This is true. I got a few more gifts in there. I'm out of that shit. But you never met Jim Gary. So
Jim Shelley.
So I go back home, feeling defeated and less than what I already was. I wasn't at my peak at the job anymore. I had quit. My relationship had left me depressed and having panic attacks and anxiety and just going through a real tough mental and emotional phase in that period. And a real probably that 2020. From the start of quarantine all the way to I want to say December. Yeah, December time, I guess. Up until the New Year or whatever was extremely tough. And a lot of decisions had to be made during that time. Got a new job and was trying to save my money and rebuilding me, taking all of what I had learned from that experience and door to door and everything else prior that I mentioned, and trying to figure out, what was I going to do going forward, and reminding myself what my actual true goals were. And then, sure enough, you introduced me to the job that I got now and everything, told me about the benefits of it all. Started working there. Then I had 2 jobs and, started saving up more and more. Got back in the gym, you know what I'm saying? Started, surrounding myself with people who love me again and, being embraced by you and my family and stuff. And getting everything together, and you saw all that shit. Yeah. It was a journey for real. It was a huge journey, and that shit fucking, it leads here.
Cultivated this opportunity that we're in now.
And as I was cleaning up last night, I was cleaning up my last box or whatever, which is my files and stuff. I was putting it back in my drawer, and I was looking at the shit that I could use and not use, so on and so forth. And I found one that had some notes on there about plans with Shorty.
Yeah.
And I was looking at that shit, and I was like, this wouldn't have happened
At all.
if I would have went with that plan.
And you know what? Speaking of plans, it's surreal even sitting in this moment because we talked about this in the truck after, coming from the gym, being in front of your crib and shit. Like, we talked before the pod had a name. Like, the bird flew in front of our truck. We was sitting there naming the concepts for the podcast. And then, like, coming down to Jerry Birds and whatnot. Like, goddamn. Like, from the inception to now, just... even imagining you in your crib, you was saying at the time that you couldn't be excited at the moment because you weren't physically present in it. And so just for us to be having an episode in your new crib, two things that we just discussed and like were ideas just a month ago. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, things can be put into motion and action can be taken so fast. And like things could just change. Things really do change once that action is put into motion.
And I had mentioned in a prior episode about how this person was just like wrong about me.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways, it didn't serve her to begin to hurt me because all it did was put me in this position.
Right. Kill him with success, man.
And so I was looking at that note and I was like, balled that shit up, threw it away, and I found another note where I was writing down like my thoughts and I was saying how pretty much like I don't need her, I don't need to deal with this, and I wrote down like my goals on there and I wrote some more notes underneath that. I'm like, yo, like I was already again sowing these seeds to get my mind right.
Yeah.
To get my mind right, and I was it's every time I look at my old shit, whenever I'm journaling or if I would just like write some poems or like notes or whatever, I'm always referencing what I want for myself in the future. And this is like one of the first few times I'm actually manifesting those things, because back to distractions, I'm eliminating the distractions out of my life. And the biggest things that have been distracting me in my life have always been girls and women. Forever.
100%.
Because I can deal with me being like lazy and procrastinating. That's on me, right?
Yeah.
Boom. That's a self-responsibility thing. But when I also add on someone else, a girl or a woman, into this equation, I'm totally thrown off.
Yeah.
Totally thrown off.
Lately, I've been dealing with like for some odd reason, even especially ever since like our conversation at the Wendy's, like motherfucking, I feel like women have been kind of throwing themselves at me in a way. More so like it's been a lot easier for me to get attention. If anything, I don't even have to do the talking. They end up like approaching me in most cases, and like what is it? No, it's not a familiar feeling, more so than untimely feeling, because I'm trying to be more focused and whatnot. And like we discussed this a lot. We getting older, and I'm trying to make the right decisions and just move correctly and stay more focused on the important things. And I catch myself a lot of times not being able to miss out on pussy. And so like women have been a major distraction for me. And I'm trying to find a good balance, because like on one hand, you want to be able to live and then on the other hand, you know what what comes with that.
What you do for a living? Live. I'm a
lifestyle.
I'm a life living.
I lifestyle. I style life.
I lifestyle for a living. But you're right about that. Like I find that again, back to the thought and having like the vision. So one of those conversations we even had in the car, we were talking about where do we see ourselves in a year, 5, 10, stuff like that. And we were describing these things. And man, like when I say it's so crazy. Like it's so crazy. Like being able to say those things and then create them. Like having this, having it, you know what I mean? and then like again like sitting at my desk and like editing the pictures like nigga, I was ready to cry. I was ready to cry like
surreal moments.
Every time like when I have like small moments of like quiet in here, I'll be ready to cry sometimes just because it's like yo I never thought. Because up until this point, I was with my parents. I had roommates. You know, I was dealing with girls that gave me emotional roller coaster to deal with, a whole bunch of shit. And a lot of times, a lot of things that could have even been avoided. A lot of times, if I just wasn't so damn stupid at the time.
Like that's keeping it simple. However, like it's all part of the.
It's part of the journey.
Yeah,
that's me beating myself up about it. Like, because I know better now.
Yeah,
and I would have smacked the shit out of myself back then if I would have saw that shit happening. But
however, we all know that it's part of everything. Is part of the experience that you needed in order to get to that next level. Like just looking at this now, it's surreal for me because it's like we discussed. I'm sitting here. Years ago wondering like when is Cole going to get in his bag, when is he going to be serious about these kind of things, and then to see you at this level, and then also to know that you can still be Kobe. Like you don't have to be less optimistic. You don't have to be cold to get where you want to be. You can still be yourself whilst I heard that shit too. I said, what is that, a robot squirrel? What the hell you got out here, Cole?
It said squeak.
It just sound like a Pokemon. But you know what I'm saying? Ask your boy. I got a lot of hoes. I was about to go in on him. But yeah, man, like goddamn the short end of that is that like sitting in here and knowing that you've come so far from where like there were any kind of transgressions, like and you've come far from where there are any doubts that you make it to that point. Like just because shit, man, you would think that at the point where we were at, and with those like stories that we're talking about, you leaving CMI to go to McDonald's and the decisions that you had to make in order to find your way, you on the inside of it and me on the outside of it, we're both discouraged. Both discouraged about the path, and then so like that had to be a lot of pressure on you, and so for you to like have come this far, and then with all those doubts against you, with all those odds against you, you have to feel some sort of vindication in it.
Man, especially. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about it, but to that,
let's get into it.
To reference it at least, that day, we're moving everything in. This like right after you had left.
Right.
And, my mom and my niece was still here helping me out. I get a call from someone, and it's I'm vindicated in it all. I'm vindicated in all because despite any and everything that happened, I knew at the end of it all, I was going to be the one who was okay.
Yes.
Because I had a plan, I had goals, and I knew what it was going to take me to do it.
Yes.
And I declared to myself that day that anything that is old or things that I dealt with in the past are going to stay there.
Yes.
Because one of the mistakes I used to make all the time is that I would end up leaving myself a tad bit open for those things to reoccur in some fashion.
No, nigga. Didn't I tell you to block that number?
So I did this time. I did. After that. Because at that point, I didn't.
At that point, it was all closed. Like the chapter was closed.
Yeah, because this is the new chapter.
What you left that number in, what you left that number unblocked for happened.
Yeah.
Now you can block it.
Boom. It happened. My little maniacal ass. But it literally, I couldn't have wrote that shit.
Yeah.
I can now. I couldn't have wrote it like it was.
It happened exactly as it needed to.
Because like I'm telling you, dog. Like when I never had someone who was personally out to get me in any sort of fashion. I never had that until then. And especially when you go from someone who you used to be okay with and things are great, and then it goes sour, and then they become your enemy. Never had to deal with that before. You know what I'm saying?
I think because I take things so personally, the smallest instance of that will give me a feeling that you have now of the bigger instance. And by that I mean, like, for example, Karina. And I'm dropping names, but I don't give a fuck. It's years old.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, when we broke up, or when I broke up, because, like, she wouldn't do it for herself. I was bad for her and whatnot, you know that. And so, like, I noticed the social media thing. I feel like she knew what would make me tick, you know, and looking at her social media, like the things she was posting, or the follow-up relationships where, oh, this dude is supposed to be a version of me with facial hair.
Right.
Like, motherfucking, the little instances like that were just like subliminals that felt like, okay, bet. Like, don't try to hurt me. I'm okay. I don't care at all.
You were dealing with subliminals. I was dealing with direct
yeah.
attacks.
But see, that's what I mean. If it's a subliminal for me, it takes the smaller instance of that bigger thing for me to go, okay, I see where your head's at. Fuck you.
Right.
Like, for you, like, it takes more to impact.
Yeah. Because, you know what I mean, dog? Like you said, I'm still cold at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I'm not the one to get riled up easily. Like, I can give two fucks. Like, it's like, all right, go be mad in a corner somewhere. I don't give a fuck, right? But you have to make an effort though, and show me that you're really trying to get a reaction out of me, and show me how evil you're trying to be, in order for me to begin to, like, stop even wanting to be around you anymore.
Yeah, subliminal is an effort to me.
You know, it has to be effort. So when it turned sour, and, you know, I'm getting that call, and I'm just like, I don't have no intention on doing anything for you.
Right.
I can't do anything for you, and you have to figure that shit out, because I figured my shit out. Like that. No, I'm done with it.
And we gotta re-illustrate the whole meaning of a bad person, you know, because, like, a long time, like, for the cheating and the lying and all this stuff I was doing in that relationship that I was in as a teenager, I felt like such a bad person for the things that I was doing. However, how so did I end that relationship and all the good things started happening for me? You know, so, like, we gotta really, like,
I haven't been this at peace. This is the first time I've been at peace for the first time in a long time. Right. And that phone call conversation reminded me of that shit. The fact that I was getting upset all over again talking to this person, and they were feeling the way they were feeling. Like, yo, I can't. Not in this phase of my life no more. No more. I'm out of my parents' house. I'm out of fucking Philly. I'm not in my old job no more. Like, I'm in a whole new territory. And the fact that you decide to come to me with this bullshit,
bringing my energy down.
Absolutely not. It's not. No, fuck you. Fuck out of here. I'm not doing that shit no more.
Now that leads me to another thought. It's just like, what convinces, or even I don't understand what makes a person think otherwise. Like, what puts a person's life in a position where they're thinking outside of themselves so much? Like, the reason that we've made it to these points in our lives, like, we've accomplished these things for ourselves, and we've become so, you know, comfortable in our paths, is because motherfucking we've been making decisions that are fit for ourselves in our lives. I got pulled over the other day, for instance, and, like, goddamn, I was just grateful that because my slate is so clean, me running the red light directly in front of a police officer didn't mean that I get any, you know, I don't get these big fines, or I don't get, like, there's no big consequence for that. I get let go and scot-free because I've kept my slate clean for so long, and all my shit checks out, and you know, that vindication I feel from all of that. I was going somewhere with that. What was I saying?
I was waiting for you to get to the point.
Yeah. Fuck, I had a point. Shit. I started talking about something else first.
This is what happens when you start talking about yourself.
So much about me I want to say. I'm great and this and that and Spider-Man and Batman and
Alright.
Superman and
But we were talking about like we were talking about vindication and all that.
Huh.
I'll continue what I was saying, then you'll remember what the fuck you were saying.
Yeah, I can make that.
But definitely felt vindicated after that, and I don't want anything of old finding their way into this new area into my life, because what this person failed to realize about themselves is that they should be feeling the same way.
Right.
That they shouldn't even want anything to do with me.
Oh, and I think that was the point I was making. Just all the decisions we've made have gotten us here now. All the decisions I made had gotten me through that pullover. Mm-hmm. That could have been bad had I made decisions that put me in a position where I had a record, or et cetera, et cetera. That's where it was. Okay.
Boom.
Makes sense.
And it's gone as far as for me to even again, back to the whole maturity thing. Like I really want to be this. We talked about in the last pod about how I still care about how people see me.
Right.
I want this version in my head that I see for myself to really be a reality. Because for me, seeing is believing, and me living in something allows me to embrace it wholeheartedly.
That's why I like these podcasts that we do have. These they're like therapy sessions for me. You talk about reality, and I had to break into being honest with myself in this episode when I was a couple minutes back when I was just talking about the narcissist in me and how it had interrupted your story. It is an exercise of honesty, and what I'm willing to be honest about, because I know that we're going to broadcast this. I know that this is going to be shared, and I'm not here trying to share the best parts of my personality. I'm just trying to be honest. And so, that's where that moment came from. So while it may have not shown me in the best light, it was honest.
Yeah.
And that's what I do like about it. These are therapy sessions for me.
Mm-hmm. I think
makes me notice a lot about
it's. But again, like how I mentioned earlier about us and our friendship. It's that dichotomy alone which makes it interesting for me.
Yeah.
Like the Gemini in me loves this kind of shit. I love this kind of shit.
He said, "You never know what you're gonna get."
Yeah, I honestly,
it's fucking adventure.
For real, this shit gets me going. Because it's a different thing, right? So from a person who is like that person who isn't no good for me, right? Mm-hmm. You, on the other hand, your ways about you is just it is what it is. I embrace you, dog. I love you. You know what I mean? I accept all those things.
Yeah, that was what I said. It's not gonna be bad for you if I mean well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know that. For example, back to the whole hard drive thing. Right. I already know you called a whole attitude about that shit. And I was just like, this nigga mad about this shit right here. I already know. But I was like, I'm not going to be over here mad. I was a little annoyed, but I'm not going to be just mad as him about this shit. It's not that big of a fucking deal. And we're going to pod anyway. And it don't really fucking matter. It's not going to determine our friendship.
And I am learning too that I need that time to be mad. Mm-hmm. The whole Patrick Bet David was just talking about the whole the real epidemic started with phones and how you can reach people immediately. So the immediacy of your thoughts getting to somebody is you can just react. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you do need that buffer between your thoughts and your feelings and the action.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times I just need to really take more into perspective. It's harder for me to do that when I'm this close to it. You know, I need to take a couple steps back.
You separate it.
Yeah.
Separate from yourself. And that takes a whole lot of discipline. That's what you're working on. The fact that you even can acknowledge that you have to remove yourself away from a situation in order for you to relax your feelings, and just get to a place where everything is cool again. Yeah, that takes a lot of discipline.
That's half the battle.
Yeah,
that's half the battle. Cause stepping away from that, the hard drive, I could see it not being as big a deal. When I look at it, I was just all right, maybe we just we're just talking in texts, and I'm reading the text and putting my own like language
taking
to it.
text out of context.
Yeah, taking text out. There you go. Taking text out of context. And yeah. So. Like ultimately, I'm working on.
I
myself.
knew you was hot when you was like the world will revolve around you. I'm like this bitch ass nigga, yo.
Nah, fuck out of here.
I was like,
that's
yeah,
still true, nigga.
This nigga but you know damn well I don't do no shit like that, nigga. You know damn well.
You probably don't notice it.
Tell me when.
I wouldn't have said it if I didn't mean it.
Tell me when.
I wouldn't have said it if I didn't mean motherfucking. When I was just nigga, if we're gonna talk about the hard drive, motherfucking, that's a perfect example. Nigga, if I called you and text you telling you that I'm around so that I could drop off this hard drive, and I even stick around for an hour afterwards so that I could like, you know what I mean? Then
but first of all, you didn't tell me
that,
you didn't tell me you were sticking around, and you didn't even call me because I looked at my call log.
I called you and it's in my call log, so that was the understanding that I got after we had discussed it. You didn't catch my call.
It wasn't in my call log.
You didn't get my call.
So how can you be mad at me?
Well, we already discussed this. I ain't mad no more.
That's
it was
what I'm
a technical issue. But like, if that were the case, had you gotten my call,
but I didn't.
Had you gotten my call, then motherfucking that would have been the circumstances perfect for explaining that, nigga.
But how does that make the world revolve around me? Because my phone didn't get your call.
What I'm saying is after that, the world don't revolve around you. I gotta work. I gotta do this. I gotta do that, nigga. I'll get back to you when I get to you. But to hit me with some I need that job ASAP. Now
I told you that when I type in ASAP,
autocorrects. That's why I said the context. It was taken out of context because don't no motherfucker talk to me like
so
no
now that
ASAP.
we're unraveling this, how? Because I'm explaining myself along these ways. None of this is showing you that the world revolves around me because these are inconveniences to you that you see as annoyances. The fact that I didn't get your call, my phone never received it. ASAP was autocorrected. This isn't saying that the world revolves around me. These are just mistakes.
ASAP being autocorrected and ASAP being spelled though is about the same thing. If I'm reading if I'm reading the lowercase ASAP, nigga, it's the same ASAP. I don't like that.
You wanna see
shit.
something? Watch this. Look. Boom. And that's what the fuck I did.
And what the fuck did I just say? If I'm seeing a lowercase ASAP and an uppercase ASAP, it's the same ASAP, and don't no motherfucker talk to me like that. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm coming at it. That's how I'm coming. So yeah.
This is what I mean. The fact nigga don't like the word ASAP.
Hey, but and then that was another thing. That's why me taking a step back from it, I was just like, all right, but if I like am having a conversation with this nigga and he says, oh yo, I need that job ASAP, don't sound as bad. So like if I'm reading the text with the incorrect voice to it or context, or if I'm just taking it way.
But so what I'm hearing is this is how you're all taking it. This isn't a me thing.
Yeah.
Yo, this is what I'm saying. You can't say the world revolves around me if this is all you're saying is how you're taking shit, and it's not how I'm fucking bringing it to you.
When I said the world doesn't revolve around you, I meant it doesn't revolve around you. I meant time.
That's what I'm saying. When I said Ace, I'm saying as soon as possible because I understand you have shit to do.
Makes sense.
If I would have said I need that hard drive today now you tell me how the fuck you would have felt.
But look how much time, like even from then to today, look how much time it takes to even understand the context of ASAP. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, like they had a discussion in Joe's podcast where he was just like, you want me to get mad at how a nigga talk? And that's why.
But you get mad at how a nigga talk.
Fuck yeah, because like nigga, it's respect. It's respect. Goddamn.
Well, then that goes back to one of the conversations we had before.
What's that?
About intention and result.
You
care about how the shit results and how you feeling.
Yeah.
I care about intention.
What matters is the question. I know what we care about. And we can both care about individually two different things. What matters, I wonder.
But what matters is what we care about.
It does. So
because otherwise,
I guess that's where compromise and cooperation and all these words come in.
And let's go back to our friendship. If we know that we have good intentions, why are we assuming the person is slighting us?
And that's where the disconnect is. Maybe I don't know that there are good intentions, or I don't trust that there are good intentions.
Nigga, after 15 damn long years, nigga, I'm Jim Gary, bitch. What the fuck? Yo.
Listen, we a work in progress, nigga. We working on it.
Listen, dog.
But
I'm gonna tell you straight up. You would know if you tell me how many times I had a real issue with you. You tell me.
Never.
Tell me.
And that I can say just off the head. I know. It's never
So
been
up
an
until
issue.
now, and if a lot of times the things that we might have had debacles about, it wasn't even stemming.
They weren't big deals.
They weren't big deals, and a lot of times it was just you trying to figure out what the deal was.
Yeah.
And I would always come to you like, nah,
9
it's not
times
like
out
that.
of 10.
It's not like that.
Yeah, I had the problem.
Like, and the fact of the matter is, dog, like, I ain't gonna sit here and like boss you around. Like I said, you your own fucking man. I'm like, I give a fuck what you do, but I don't care because you have to do your own shit anyway.
Precisely.
I'm not the one to tell you what to do. Like I said, it would have read differently if I'm like, yo, I need that shit now.
Yeah,
Then
but that's how I read it.
Right, but that's not what
ASAP means now.
As soon as possible. That's not me now.
ASAP means now. Yeah. So, yeah. We working on it.
This is why words mean something. Nigga, we writers. How can you take
But I mean, that's what I mean though. Like, motherfucking, you know, we learned in say you go to you in a door-to-door gig.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I learned that like anything you say before the word "but" is like null and void. Like you don't really care about it. We know as salesmen and writers that there is a lot of thought that goes into the language you speak.
Yeah. You can say one thing and mean another.
Yeah, so like I pay a lot of attention to how I'm spoken to, how what a motherfucker think they can say to me, the type shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like it just gives you a perspective window so that like when you said ASAP, I'm like, this nigga think I'm sweet or something? Like, no, nigga. Like, don't nobody say no ASAP to me. Like, so like understand it's coming from that place.
But that's what I'm saying though. So because I already know that you kind of already that you're looking at things from that perspective where you're analyzing how and what people say to you.
Right.
It's the fact that I don't even talk aggressively to you.
Right.
I don't.
Like if what it's like the jokes we make when we're like bitch da, da, da,
yeah, like
it's all perspective as to what somebody would see as aggressive nature or what, and again it's like you said intention and this and that. Like motherfucking if I don't take it's all where I see it coming from. If I don't take it from that place of intention that you meant to bring it from, then I mean I'm going to take it wrong. Yeah, that's all that is.
And I know me personally, like again this goes back to you have to like show me that you're actually trying to be like a dickhead towards me. Otherwise, right. I'm just like, oh, everything cool. Like
everything's a joke.
You know, because for real. Because I'm usually
it's no skin off your back.
I'm not the aggressor a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the one to I'm not gonna push first. I'm not gonna react first. Like I'm just the one to just be like, hey, it's whatever. Like I ain't about to sit here and try to go back and forth. I'm not the one.
I might not be the first reactor, but I'm the first to peep. I think that's my issue. I try to see the
problem.
Yeah, like try to read in between every line, and when there's nothing there to read, and so like I'll pick up on shit that I didn't need to pick up on or that wasn't even there.
To me, that's so exhausting.
That's
for me,
and it is. It definitely is.
That's exhausting because I already think enough too much. I don't want to have to think about what the fuck everyone else is thinking about or trying to interpret as their speak. That's way too much.
Now, see, on one hand, while it is exhausting, believe you me, it is. Like, I want out of this world. Like, as far as the way it's shaped in my mind, the way I think. However, like, when you're right enough times that it saves you or has put you in better positions because you spotted something, it's like you don't want to stop. It's hard to not peep anymore because you know it kept you on your toes.
I think that's for you. That's why it's you can keep doing it. I guess for me, I haven't been a lot of times where I've been like confirmed in a lot of my. Like I said, you have to show me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not for the subliminal or the in between shit. You have to straight up tell me that like it is that.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise it's just like What's the issue here?
That's the difference there.
You know what I mean?
And I could see how there's benefits to both. Like in your shoes, you probably a lot of situations that present themselves to me wouldn't even present themselves to you because it would turn out that I created those situations for myself. Whereas adversely, a lot of situations that presented themselves to you didn't have to be because you could have foresaw them had you had the insight at that time. And like that's where like me thinking too much comes in, and playing all the variables and stuff like that. So very there's no wrong way to live.
Yeah.
There's a balance to everything though, and I think I need to find a balance.
Everyone has different experiences. You know what I mean? And not to say either that like if I do end up peeping something early, like I will investigate. I will try to figure out what the game is. You know what I mean? But a lot of times, since I'm a whole lot more protected of self, I don't give myself out too much to even fall into something. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
Prior, I would leave myself open and vulnerable to the point where situations like previously had happened.
Right.
I'll leave myself open to those situations. But these days, it's like, I'm not leaving myself open to even receive that kind of shit. Like, you can go.
These days.
You can go.
Speaking of you can go, I'm looking at your door right now, for example. That's a door that you can invite women in and kick women out of. Like, goddamn. I'm thinking, as far as, like, this new setting for yourself, like, there is a discipline that you've been working on, that you've been really developing over the past couple months. And now that you have this arena where you are in...
That's a good word.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you're damn, I had another good word I wanted to use, but it had to do with basically being in control.
I was going to say a battlefield.
But basically you in control, for lack of the better word that I wanted to use. And it'll probably come up in my head later. But like, I guess where I'm getting to is... Will the self-control still... Do you struggle with that self-control? It's early in the chapter.
I ain't gonna hold you. It's already been tested. It's already been tested.
Yeah.
And man, I'm just
told you
like...
it was coming.
And already I'm just like, okay, now I have to like really... And this is the topic I was even gonna get into, right? Back to the whole vision thing and the manifestation thing. I'm like... I can't, not only can I not allow old people to be in my life, I can't allow my old habits to be in my life now.
Ooh,
you feel what I'm saying?
We fucking we fine.
Nigga, I can't let old habits come into my life. And the fact that I was already doing, I was like, oh, see, I caught myself.
Yeah.
I caught it. I was like, all right, got out the way. It is what it is. Let me just, now I know better now. Let me rearrange my focus. Let me get to the mentality that I had to get to this point and keep that mentality to get to the next point, right?
Right.
So I already knew that after all the shit we had talked about, the reflection and everything, that I want to have this look a certain way. I want to be this version of me. I want to achieve more of my goals. I want to live the lifestyle I want to live. And all that's going to happen by me having discipline and the wherewithal not to go back into my old habits. All that to say, I'm way more sure of myself now after I put that in my head that I can really do this because I did this.
Yes.
I did this already. And now it's like, all right, cool. I celebrated it. I basked in it. Now it's like, all right, here's the next thing. Let's work towards this shit.
Hence
now.
why you said this Sunday being today is like going to be the start of your rehabilitation, basically. You get yourself back into the groove of things. Yeah, shit, man. I'm working on that too. When old girl was at my crib, for example, like in the morning I got that text from the other babe, like basically, come over, I want to fuck this weekend, I'm free, da-da-da-da. And I'm just like, I caught myself. Of course I said, yeah, I'm free this weekend too. I'm free after 5, da-da-da. But like as the time approached for me to go like see this woman and stuff, and like I'm just considering like what are the drawbacks? What am I starting? What am I getting myself into here? And I've had many encounters with many different women, and what I learned in this occasion was that it doesn't matter how put together the woman is, how great she looks, how much she's got going for herself, the crib, the car, like she's working at the bank that motherfucking I bank at. These are good things, and you can be the smart lady and all that stuff, and I still feel like I'm distracted with you. You could be Beyonce, but what are you offering me? Like what now granted Beyonce is multi-billionaire, all that kind of stuff, but bad example. But either way, you know what I'm saying? Like if I have my own personal goals to reach, what is interacting with you and sharing my time and energy with you really gonna get me? Nothing. It's gonna give me experiences. However, I'm just gonna be wasting more time and money and attention and energy on another person instead of my goals and what I need to be doing. And so I chose not to spread myself thin this week, and it was easier this time than it has been before. And hopefully I can, I don't even want to speak like that hope language. Like I need the discipline to move forward with not with hope, but with discernment.
Yeah, I remember in one of the previous pods you had mentioned you were still trying to figure out like what your plan is like going forward. Like what's the update on that?
As far as that goes, there nothing's concrete. It ought to be. However, I'm in a bad place if I were to say so, looking at the outside in, because you can know you're talented and know you have you're positioned well. However, if you don't capitalize on that talent, if you don't, for example, gaining more skills that are good in this marketplace and whatnot, I can't just bank on talent and good looks and blessings of having a voice that I can market and different things that I could do. There are many things I could do, but what's the real skill there? So taking that seriously and really moving forward in that lane is what I should be doing, I believe. Now, knowing is half the battle. Actually doing what you're supposed to do is the other. The lack of discipline being the main enemy.
I asked that because for me, there hasn't been a lot that I personally feel like were goals that I had set for myself and that I had achieved. There were things that I've done that I should feel proud of and that are accomplishments and milestones, but nothing like this though. The last one I was really working towards was trying to get into management back in door to door.
Right.
And being this close to it, but then it all being just taken away by the pandemic. I feel so much more now that I can really do any and everything that I can put my mind to. And when I look at my board and I see my goals and that I can cross this off the list, knowing that I can do everything else on that list, I'm like, there's nothing that can really there's nothing that can stop me at this point.
Okay, see now we're pieing, because in these moments I catch myself I'm telling you that I feel like I have a bad plan, right? Mm-hmm. That's because subconsciously I've already banked on me being a star.
But you can do that though.
Exactly. It's just a matter of sharing that thought. Sharing your dreams and how intimidating that can be in the face of your reality in the moment.
But that's the thing though. That's what makes it become a reality. You have to speak it.
Precisely. I just
and you can't hold yourself back through those thoughts because your reality isn't that yet.
Right.
Because it can be.
You know what I'm saying?
Nigga, and even not even this, your life in general. Nigga, how many times you spoken shit that it became your reality?
I'm living in it now.
You talk about your perfect moments all the time.
And I'm living in it now. It's just I've never spoken to this many people about it. And while I'm speaking to you, like, we know this conversation can be of a broader audience.
Right.
And so, like, me discussing my goals and like not having a surefire plan or not really banking on, because I always told myself that I wouldn't monetize my music and whatnot. And, however, if I'm to just speak it like word vomit, I do see myself as being somebody that can become influential in my own lane, and like not necessarily just eating off of music, but it becoming a part of my streams of revenue. Just recently, I had gotten paid from streams, and while it not being that much, it was a profit from something that I released years ago. So I have assets now, and I'm thinking of like how far I could take this. And sometimes, like, I'll get like random messages from people that I don't know but have listened to my music from across the nation, telling me to keep going and stuff like that. And I'm just like, man,
Bro.
in my own mind, I take myself very seriously. But on the outside, I'm just like, I don't want people to doubt me.
Man, listen, here's the thing. We can always be doing more than what we're doing.
Right.
After the photo shoot Saturday, at the end of it, we were talking, and you know, he was like, you know, like, I really, you know, I appreciate you know what you did. He was asking me, you know, how much I owe you. I was like, you know, it's nothing, like, you know, it's whatever.
Right.
You know, I was telling him, I was like, I haven't been consistent enough to even start, not even start, but getting back to charging people. I've been mad and consistent. You know what I mean? I still have a ways to go before I can even get better.
This is you working on your craft.
Boom, right? And I was really just trying to do it for fun anyway, because it's been a minute, you know what I mean? Shit been going on. Like, last photo shoot was us, you know what I mean? And that was just for this, you know, but this is like getting back into it. So he was like, you know, I appreciate it. He was like, if anything, you know, he's like, do you think it'd be cool to be, you know, be my personal photographer? You know, I'm trying to get into streetwear and street clothes and stuff like that. I'm like,
I love it.
I didn't even second guess. I was like, yes, absolutely. And he was like, I paid for it. I was like, dog, it don't even matter. Like, fuck that. Like, just doing it, because this is what I want to do.
Right.
And the fact of the matter is, we're already walking in what we're supposed to be doing. We just have to believe it, and again, be doing more than what we're already doing.
Right.
There's so much more that we can be doing. Like, dog, like, even just saying it gets me excited every time.
I was just writing something along the lines of, like, being told that if I keep going, I'm going to make it. And what does it mean to me if I'm the only one who knows that I'm the greatest? And the type of thing of, the concept of, like, you need, it doesn't prove anything, or it doesn't feel as good when you're the only one who knows how great you are. You got to show it. You got to put your work out.
Okay, so then boom. Because I feel like you teeter the line a whole lot of being open and then being, like, reserved a whole lot.
I do.
What's it gonna take for you to want to be as open as you want to be? Because to be a star means you're open. Not saying every star you know everything about them,
necessarily,
but you see them. You see them
at certain times. I like the old school actor way of things, wherein if you were to see Will Smith, you'd have to see him in Independence Day.
But what I'm saying is, like, even then, you still have to see them.
You're gonna see them, but you see what they show you.
You're gonna see them. Yeah, but that's the thing, though. You still have to be seen.
Yeah. You
have to be seen in some regard. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't think you get, but that's what I mean. That's the regard. Like, when I go to school, for example, I show them the character. And when I go home, none of them come home with me. You get me?
Yeah.
Like, it's just a thing of, before social media became a thing, actors, they got to their.
It was a mystique. It was
all that. Like, there you go. The mystique to them. The reason that people would drive people to the theaters is because the only place that they would get to see them is in their movies. And so, like, that's the kind of allure that I always thought that stardom came with, which was like a good, or at least the kind of stardom that I wanted. The balance of you get to see what I show you, you admire me for the art that I put out, and the mystique is from what I've created and what you don't know about me, and it will remain unknown. However, in the world like we live in now, it's so much more to an entertainer or somebody who's a person of the people.
But that, you know, and we can name a handful of artists who don't even like do like the whole spotlight thing. You know what I mean? And who are like amazing artists and everything. I think though, even still with that, I personally feel like, dog, you just gotta put yourself out there more.
Yeah.
Like more. I feel again, this is more things we could always be doing. You know what I mean? Like
levels to it. I think the next level or the level that I admire, if we're talking about a plan or having a surefire, a more specific vision, I do admire the idea of like, you know, turning my website into like a website that has driven the traffic from like all the SoundCloud, the DSPs and whatnot over to my website where they would be able to actually buy merch and music or what have you. And I know there's a lot of artists that do that successfully, that have their own little platform that aren't widespread nationally known artists, but they're making a bulk of money because they have ownership of their shit. Mm-hmm. And so that's a goal in which I could definitely foresee for myself, because I'm not one to want a lot of attention, so fame probably wouldn't be for me. And given my style as well, I feel like I'd be more so fit into a lane than I would in the forefront of things. I'm not blocking off any opportunities. I'm just saying, you know, in my mind. And,
so let me ask you this, because when I hear you talk about these things, and you're giving this side and then this side and then this side, I hear your logician brain going off on these moments. Do you feel like sometimes you're probably making it a little bit harder to figure out than what it actually is?
Not until this very moment when you brought it up.
Because me personally, I hear what you're saying. I totally understand what you're saying. But dog, it doesn't have to be this complicated to figure out.
No.
It really don't. I swear on everything, it does not have to be this difficult.
Yeah.
Because the fact of the matter is, the watered down version of it all is you want to rap. Mm-hmm. Baseline. That's your foundation. That's right. It. To build off of that foundation is then going to be your pillars, right? So what are the pillars that are going to hold everything else up, right? It's going to be, you know, your whole catalog. It's going to be your merch. It's going to be your videos and concepts. It's going to be your like promotion or advertising, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? And build off of, like, it's something, it's levels to it, but it's not as intricate as a lot of times we can make it be.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I give you an example for me. I already know I want to be a successful photographer. And my long-term goal for that shit, I want to have my pictures on the cover of magazines, billboards, people who see my shit and try to emulate it. You know what I mean? I want to have a very successful photography career in like portraits and fashion and stuff like that. That's just one of the lanes, but that's the one I'm talking about now that I'm focusing on. To do that, one, I have to take more pictures with people, get better at editing, and network more to find out how to get into these spaces and figure out how to get closer to people, like, you know, like celebrities and stuff like that, to get my pictures in these magazines and shit like that. And that'd be my life. That's the short of it. Everything else in between is gonna be figured out. But those are the things that have to happen. Take more pictures, edit better, and network. Plain and simple. And that's just one avenue that I want to get into.
Precisely. Okay. And that makes a lot of sense too, because it's not like when I mentioned that entertainment route, I know that being an MC and rapping isn't the only thing that I want to do or the only things I'm good at. Yeah, I was about to ask you.
I was gonna make sure I was
way earlier. I was going to ask if that thing was recording, but I didn't want to interrupt. But yeah. Okay, we good. Solid,
we straight.
Solid, yeah. Entertainment, like as creators, we both know that bleeds into a lot of different aspects of your life. So there are many different things that I want to do with my creative brain. And I think you just like hit it on the nail when you had mentioned just simplicity. It
And
really
nigga-
is as simple as doing it sometimes
Nigga,
and getting
and
it out.
I told you before, I want to get into music too. I want to fucking make R&B. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
That's what I already know in my head what I want to do with that shit.
Yeah.
I already have the whole mood in my head of what the fuck that's gonna be like.
Oh shit.
Before I even get into it, dog, and you're already doing it. You already doing this shit.
I guess what is it like? Almost just like the whole concept of moving out and being in the apartment and stuff. When you're in it and like you spent time in it, you just said it's levels to it. You start to think of different. You just think more, and maybe that complicates it more than it was in the beginning when it was simple or seemed simple.
One of my postcards I have, not postcards, but index cards that I wrote down. I like to write down like little reminders on there.
Yeah.
Like little phrases. One of them says, "Stop overthinking and start doing." Stop overthinking and start doing, because we get
100%.
analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
A lot of shit doesn't even happen because we already did so much work in our head that before we even start, we already reached the finish line, but we never even reached the finish line.
I'm a victim of that 100%.
Like, dog, like I said, there's so much more to do. Like, it's so much fucking more.
That's why I don't do experiences.
Like,
what's
nigga,
the point of that? It was just fun.
Yo, listen, it's so much more. Like, I'm 23, about to be 24 in 2 fucking weeks. Like, nigga, my 20s are damn near halfway over.
Yeah.
Damn near. Like, next year I'm 25.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. Like I said, all that shit we was talking about before about where everything was. I can't do none of that shit ever again. I already fucking did it.
Right.
Already did it. Now the focus is fucking getting my place together, fucking getting my car and the photography, like fucking traveling more, networking more. Like, I'm trying to do all this shit. Like the fact, like I said, that I did this, it gives me the confirmation now that anything that I want to fucking do, I can literally do that shit.
Yeah.
All I have to do is do it. Not fucking look at instant gratification, fucking know what my goals are, remind myself of it, work towards it, and just be happy while I'm fucking doing it.
Speaking of being happy, is there a feeling that inspires one to have these kind of experiences as far as like traveling and like
A feeling, what do you mean?
for example, I'm very familiar with the idea of wanting to travel and wanting to experience the world. That I do want to do. However, just like in a time like now where I'm building, I don't have the wherewithal to even like see a reason to like do certain things that other people do for joy. Mm-hmm. I'm not a joy seeker. Mm-hmm. Like and I guess that's the question I'm asking. Like, is there a feeling that inspires that seeking of joy? Like what makes people fun?
I'll say for me, a lot of it is just what I see in my head for myself. I've always created like vision, like worlds in my head, or like stories and stuff like that, and a lot of it just inspires me, just from a kid playing with toys up until now wanting to make movies. A lot of what I see like gets me interested and excited about it. Like I want more. Want more, and I want more in my way though, not how everyone else does it. Like I want more in a way that's gonna fulfill me.
Okay.
Something that's gonna allow me to be happy knowing that I did it. Like for example, the whole door-to-door thing. I didn't do it because I was gonna make a whole lot of money. I did it because I wanted the adventure of it.
Okay.
I wanted the experience. I wanted the opportunity that was presented to me, whether it was legit or not, whether it was something that I could be successful in or not. I wanted to just experience it.
So you know what? You just brought me to a great point, because in my head, before you just explained it that way, I'm thinking that I'm just this boring guy who doesn't want to do anything. But it's not that. It's just that the experiences that I have are my experiences. And I don't I don't imagine having these experiences for or with anybody else. I imagine having them for me and with me and who I experience them with. You get me? Like, say if I'm traveling or going on vacation or something, the bitches I meet there are the bitches I meet there, and the things that I do there are the things I'm gonna do there. I'm not of the mind that there will be somebody in my life that I want to join me on these experiences of mine. You know, so like I'm sitting here looking at myself through the lens of, say, a woman who probably thinks that I'm boring because I don't do much with her. However, that's not the case. It's just that these things that I want to do, I'd rather do them on my own than with
Yeah. That's pretty much what it is, you know. And like you said, it's a different perspective and a different way of just like going about your life, you know. Like, I just know me, I've because for so long, me and my mom even talked about this. She would try to get me like to go out more and like try to experience things, and she would always try to tell me, hey, why don't you go out with your friends from school? How come you don't go out with your friends from school? And da da da. At the time, I wasn't into what I was into now, but I was like, Mom, I said, do you really want me to go out with my friends from school and all they do is like drink and smoke? She's like, well, I don't know, I don't want that for you, you know what I'm saying? But then she started gearing her efforts towards just getting me out into other things that I wanted to do,
right,
aside from my friends. You know what I mean?
What were those things, if you remember?
Honestly, it really had, if anything, less to do with her, more so just like I said, just like girls, or like shit with you. Yeah, it wasn't anything like you said with you. Like, it wasn't anything everyone else was doing.
So those were the weekends that I would see you at Zay's, or
yeah, like it
those
was shit
were the
that
weekends that you would get to go to the movies with your girlfriends and shit like
that I wanted to do for me, like shit that made me fucking happy. Like, why I gotta be with motherfuckers who I'm only cool with at school to like enjoy my time. Like, these niggas don't even know me like that.
Yeah, I always felt like the motherfuckers at school, they would laugh with me at school, but if they knew how I was living at home, they would laugh at me. And so I was just like, these niggas ain't really my friends. They fuck with me because I'm funny and I'm here and all that shit, but they knew my real life. I'd be the butt of the jokes.
It'd be different.
Yeah,
it'd be different for real.
Like, that's what made me differentiate people, and I think that's that just speaks to the way like I learned to move in my life period. Like,
but also too, I learned that I want to be around people who I also enjoy being around. Like, when I moved out, I was with a lot of guys who I never even met before, but what made me be cool with them is that we all had like a lot of things in common. You know, we could be around each other. It was fun. It was, you know, it was work too.
Yeah.
But it was lessons being taught. It was experiences being shared. It was effort and growth. It was, you know what I mean? It was progression. Yeah. It wasn't just like we sitting back and chilling and smoking and fucking like doing nothing. Like,
yeah,
nigga,
it was a camaraderie there.
Yeah, like I don't like that shit. Like, I want to be around people who have shit to fucking do.
Yeah.
Like, what are we fucking
going
doing?
Somewhere?
Yeah, like where are we going? Like, what are we doing? Like, I'm not about to sit here and just fucking waste my time with you. Like, now we need to do something.
That was a big issue I was having with Shawty. Like, goddamn. Which is why, like, the recent shorty that I had met had thrown me for such a loop, because for her having all this stuff together and stuff making me feel like, yo, this is the one I need to be around. Like, goddamn. Now, granted, there's loyalty here and there's love here and all this good stuff. However, this shorty got this going for herself. Like, goddamn, like, so it makes you feel like the company you keep type shit. And to this day, I still like wonder what's the decisions I'm making and stuff, and that's why I always like to be in control of my situation, because the whole thing of like, you show me your friends, I'll show you your future, that really sticks with me. And so I try to surround myself with people that are like-minded, are going places, are thinkers. And so that's why my circle is so goddamn small. Because, you know, it's few and far between you'll run into motherfuckers that are really about something and really honest with themselves and you.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, like, and can handle my honesty. And because I don't mean harm. I just, I am who I am and I have to be me. And so I might not always come off as agreeable. And so like that takes years of cultivating, hence our friendship being 15 years now. Shawty have been around for 3 years, and so on and so forth. Like it just takes time to develop that understanding.
And I'm telling you, though, like it's a lot of it has to do with again, just like you said, who you hang around and your mindset. Like the fact that we're not around, our other cousin. Like I've come to accept the fact that just it is what it is. Like it's that relationship isn't meant to be in this phase.
Right.
And a lot of and maybe I'm not even meant to be in his phase.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because my mom brought this up. She was like, maybe what we've become is a little intimidating. You know what I mean? Because we've done so much and did a whole lot of things. And he's still kind of where he's at. In his own way and probably doing his own thing, but it isn't to this degree.
Right.
And it's probably, like I said, it feels a little intimidating.
I can understand that.
But me personally, I feel like, well, because how I look at those things, like I said, I wanted to be around what I didn't have.
Yeah.
When I moved out, I wanted to be around Aaron because he was where I wanted to be. He was the kind of guy who I wanted to be. I wanted to be around. I was not intimidated by this man.
Right.
You know what I mean? I saw him as a nigga who was, working out, had his own business, bitches. he was that nigga. And to this day, and every time I'm around him, it's a reminder of that. And I'm just like, yo, I don't. But you have to be built like that to understand, to want to be around that, to want to be around who you.
Yeah, motivation.
Yeah, to keep that alive, because if you're around the right people, they're gonna show you who you are, and a lot of times what you aren't and what you are.
Right.
I said the same thing twice, but they're gonna show you.
Yeah.
And it's up to you to decide.
And they don't have to. It's gonna stand out.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You're gonna have to decide if you wanna be in that lane they're in, or you're gonna be okay doing whatever you're still doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And a lot of times, for me at least, what I've come to discover about myself is that what I was doing previously, again, wasn't getting me to where I'm at now.
100%.
It wasn't. And now that I'm here now, and I saw what got me here, that's what I want to keep doing.
If we're trimming the fat, what behaviors had to be cut out in order for you to get here now?
Being a little less emotional about things, like not caring so much. Like I said before in the last part, I still care, but not that much.
Right.
Like when Shawty was like, I saw your little podcast, we're done. The old me would have been like, oh wait, I didn't mean it like that. Like fuck out of here, type something. That's the first thing, just not caring so much. The next thing, having a little bit more mental discipline, understanding when I'm feeling something, and dissecting it to know to remind myself just to get back on track with shit.
Yeah.
Having the work ethic, which I didn't have prior. I did not have a great work ethic at all. At all.
Mm-hmm.
These days, it's a totally different story. My respect for myself, huge. My respect for myself, it's.
I love that you said that, because I think that goes hand in hand with what I was thinking too, which is a big component of making it this far is just believing in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you gotta believe you can do it. You gotta believe a lot of the leaps that we take. You gotta believe that you can land in a favorable position.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta believe that you can make something happen.
Right.
A lot of times, that's the only thing that's going to get you through the lower ends of your journey. So, believing in yourself, trusting yourself, and respecting yourself. That's all a big component of the journey.
And I was gonna mention this earlier, but if it wasn't for you being in my life and giving me a lot of the perspective that you have, I don't think I would have necessarily gotten to this point. You know what I mean? Like, you were a real integral part into a lot of how my life has played out for myself.
I could say the same for you.
I
know, like I mentioned.
Let me talk about you first. Like,
I ain't talking about you. I ain't going to nonsense. Like I said, no, he ain't gonna be more humble than me. No, I can speak about you. You are the best. You are the best buddy ever. Help me up when I was down. You
encouraged me.
I started singing the lyrics, the gospel songs. You made me believe when I believe. I'm everything I am because you loved me. I started singing Celine Dion. I said I would have lost it all, but now I see how you was there for me,
and I
can't say I'm stronger. I'm wiser. I'm better. I'm so much better. I said, when I look back, oh, you brought me through. Start stealing all the sap lyrics.
But like for real, like it's. I swear for God, like it's from the moment that we met, it's really been like a blessing. You know what I mean? Like I said, I love you for who you are. You're my brother, like you're my dog. It's just you being you this whole entire time has really just shown me a lot of who I can be, what I can do, what I can have for myself, and I always look to you as an example of like just what I can be more as. You know what I'm saying? And one of the pods, you're taking advice from my little cousin, but it's like, you still my big cousin at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So a lot of times it's not even what you even like do. It's a lot of times a lot less of what you say, more what you do. And I look at a lot of times what you do as a way of reflection of seeing what I can do for myself.
I like that. But I will say I do know that like in this journey I can say the same for myself. I know that like even looking at our path and like the synchronization of it, how a year later after I was in door to door, you hit door to door. This is without us even having any discussion about that kind of thing. Just knowing that like our paths, it feels like it was meant. Mm-hmm. That we have this kind of yin yang thing going, because like the positivity that I've gotten from you, just the influence, even like I used to hate influence so much, and even that word, but just knowing that I can truly say I was influenced. A lot of stuff a lot of laughter, a lot of things that I can find joy in, and a lot of parts about just life and living that are less so to do with logic, more so to do with living and being human and bringing yourself to a more lively part of yourself. Also, just you don't realize the importance in having somebody in your corner until you don't have anybody in your corner. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. But go ahead.
No,
it's about something else.
I said you had another junkie joke.
Nah, this is gonna be a shade, but I ain't gonna throw no shade. Go ahead.
Oh, it's me?
No, not towards you.
I said, no. I said it was a year.
No shade towards you, but towards someone, I'm not gonna go there. I'm done with that.
I feel you. Yeah, you didn't want to hold that hatred in your heart.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah. But real shit, man. It's just like I don't know what it would look like just without that aspect of friendship, without that aspect of even simple things like a couple minutes ago me going like about my narcissistic traits, and just having understanding and having somebody that does understand you in your circle. It creates an element of understanding self. Mm-hmm. I understand myself better through experiences with you. Mm-hmm. And it keeps me motivated and makes sure I keep getting better. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, you've leveled up and you're at the level you're at now. That means I can't stop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, because Cole's gonna keep going, and like we gotta keep this up with each other. Otherwise, the same way, and I wouldn't be mad at it. Otherwise, the same way in which we grew apart from others, he can grow apart from me, and I'll lose that friendship. And I can't be mad at that because we are expecting each other to keep growing.
Yeah.
And so once one stops, we can't keep going back for him.
It's crazy that you even. I feel like that's been like an unspoken thing between us.
Right.
Our growth and how we expect each other to keep growing.
We do.
Like, we expect each other to keep succeeding and to keep learning and to keep developing. That's been an unspoken thing until just now.
100%.
Because, like I said, for you, I look at you and a lot of what you do. And how a lot of times, you know, you give me a lot of new perspective and a lot of new things that you've been interested in or trying out and, you know, solving and trying to piece things together, you know, and I look at that as like, damn, I need to be trying to fucking figure some shit out too, you know. It's interesting that that's kind of what one of, I guess you can say, one of our pillars are with our friendship. Is just we expect each other to win.
Yes.
We expect each other to succeed, and whether it be together or apart.
Right.
We're not trying to pull each other down.
Exactly.
We're not trying to discourage each other. We're only trying to just help each other and see each other win at the same time.
Exactly.
That's cool.
I love it. This is the what is it? It's the mental embodiment of the roommates that that whole shit that we created at McDonald's. Like, I remember we envisioned like motherfucking, and this is immature us before we got to like be fucking on a daily basis and shit. Like, I'm talking about, so if we was fucking a bitch, like, we have the little sign on the door that we flip over and be like, you know what I'm saying, and shit, like, it was some chalkboard shit. We had a couch that was kind of like this in the little middle living room with the motherfucking 2 doors set apart and shit. Like, we had a whole spread out vision of what it would look like. However, I like that we've grown older and known that, like, what is it? Having those separate spaces is important for the mental space. Yeah. Because we're 2 different people at the end of it all.
Right.
And while we mesh well, to live together in the same space all the time, it couldn't be healthy for us.
That'd be a bit much.
Yeah, couldn't be healthy for us.
That'd be a bit much.
And so, like, goddamn, I'm excited about moving forward in the in this right way that we found, in this groove that we in.
For sure.
Good shit.
For sure. I want to. Did you have anything else you want to talk about?
Oh, no.
I want to shift gears real quick because last week.
Hitman!
This shit's important. Right. Last week.
It better be. I said some good shit.
Never mind.
He said I had a great pie.
Mr. Whole Pie. But
he said, "Am I great pie man?"
But at the job last week, I'm walking, you know what I mean, you know, picking, doing everything. And usually I'm just walking around like, I usually have like a drop dead face. I'm not like smiling or whatever. I'm just like, you know, it's, what the fuck? I'm working. Who cares, right? So I go towards like the initial pallets, like the HPB shits over there.
I hate being over there.
Me too, I hate, because it's stupid.
Yeah. I
go over there and then I'm walking past this one lady, she's like a problem solver. And she's like, she was like, hey, why? She was like, hey, smile. I was like, huh? She's like, smile. You can smile, right? I'm like, what's there to smile for? She was like, you woke up, didn't you? I was like, yeah, you're right. But I'm walking away. I'm like, this must be how women feel.
Like, smile. You too pretty to be now.
Like, smile, beautiful. Smile, gorgeous. Come on now.
Like, bitch ass nigga, I'm happy. I just have like I have a mad face.
Yeah, like, and I'm minding my business. Like, why are you fucking? But I told my mom about that, and she was like, you know, she was like, they usually say that, like, well, women get that a lot when they actually are attractive, and men like do like them. They try, you know, say something to them. So I'm like, she obviously fucking with your boy.
Right.
But secondly, also, like I learned. Well, Saul was talking about when men tell women to smile, it's one, because they like women who smile. It's appealing, it's attractive, and stuff like that. But I'm like, well, what does that really do for men? You know what I mean? Because what's that mean for us to smile? Like, we're not necessarily the ones who have to be beautiful, quote unquote.
Right.
You know what I mean? And not saying that we aren't good looking. Of course, you know, we get comments on our smiles all the time.
Right.
But for that to happen, I was just like,
what do women get out of a smiling man?
Yeah, and I didn't feel no way about it. I didn't take offense to it like a lot of women do. I genuinely thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
He was like, bitch, I'm minding my business. I'm working. Like,
That's what I'd be laughing
you know
at.
what I
Like,
mean?
I don't be. That's the only reason I can smile in those instances, unless I'm really in a bad mood.
Yeah,
like,
this is so
motherfucker.
random.
Yeah,
Like,
I didn't expect to be told to smile. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I know I look evil. Like, that's what I'm laughing at.
Right.
But that's just my face. Like,
I definitely
that's the
did.
nigga face.
And I definitely did smile because it was funny. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But even still, I'm just like, what could a woman get out of a man smiling?
Well, like, you know, it depends on the woman, I'm guessing, because, like, you'll have the woman who doesn't like a very social, she doesn't like the guy that can be everybody's friend, and he's too, like...
I've been called a friendly ass nigga before.
You know what I'm saying? And then there's the other woman who wants the dude who can get the attention.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, she likes that guy because, you know, that's attention for her, or that's just, you know, a prize almost. Like, it seems like a goal. So it really depends on the woman. However, it's not a... I don't think men get the request as much as women do.
Yeah, definitely not.
I doubt it's doubtful, and that's just because it's something to say. Niggas are dumb. Like, we don't like, and I won't even pull myself in with them and say
that's
niggas
a whole
is dumb.
that's a whole
Like,
different...
motherfuckers don't be having much to say when so it's part of the pool of icebreakers that they pull from. Smile, like, bitch.
But my whole thing is just like, I never been into like the whole cat calling thing and the holler at a girl from a distance. Like, that's so like
and I've seen it work. I just never felt like, and I'm sure just like, you know, the way we believe, you know, you believe in in sales, you door to door, you know, you have confidence in what you're about to say, and you say it with confidence, and it's done. However, I don't have confidence in the cat call.
Yeah, and plus nowadays women, you know, they don't even fuck with that shit.
I can't say, because like we discussed before, women will make exceptions for
they do.
Different
I just
niggas.
haven't seen it.
I've seen it,
and a lot of times I see a lot of women say they don't even like it. Like, they don't even like that shit.
What fucks me up, it's always over like
but then again,
a lot of like bum ass like it be looking like bum motherfucker that just be like, and by bum I don't mean broke, but more so by definition of like
thirsty ass niggas.
Yeah. The way they treat you, like, fucking, like, and I don't treat you no better, but like, yeah. But you know what I mean, like, just the dusty ass.
But like, that's that's what I'm saying though. Like, so back like the Wendy's thing, right?
Yeah.
We weren't trying to flirt with these bitches.
Mm-hmm.
They, you know what I mean? They made the move.
Yeah.
These days, like, I feel like, again, back to the distraction, the waste of time thing. If I'm, and don't get me wrong, like, I'll slide into a bitch DM, but it won't be like on no tight time, like, oh, hey, beautiful. It'll just be like, I acknowledge your picture, it's sexy, it's cool, whatever.
Right.
But I feel like a lot of times though, if you spend a lot of time trying to get women's attention, you're not spending time trying to build yourself up. So me, like I said before, I like when like women make the first approach. Mm-hmm. When they make the first contact, because now it saves me the time of trying to even build your interest and everything. It already shows me you're interested. You know, we can get shaken from here. Like, what's up? What you trying to do?
Okay.
If I feel like I have to hit you up first, it's just like, now I gotta prove to you like how I'm fucking valuable to you.
Here's where I notice I'm wrong. The moment I want to talk to women or find new women to like, entertain, is always simultaneously hitting me at the moment that my dick is hard. So I'm finding that I'm probably not making the decisions in the right mind, like, cause like, yeah, a lot of times I know what I'm entertaining the woman for, and for a long time now, it's gotten to that bottom line of, well, if I know that I just want sex out of this thing, then what's the point of me going all the way around the corner to like meet her at this destination? Like, why don't I just be this way up front if she ain't feeling that it is what it is? And for the past couple of years, man, that's been a filter system that's really been knocking all the bullshit out the way. And while it's been good on one hand, where I've been in control, no bad bitches about to get over me. Like, I mean, it is what it is. You want me or not. However, on the other hand of that, it's it's like being out of sales for so long. I've got a lack of communication skills now, and the only thing that I can really, you saw how I had interjected in our conversation earlier about the narcissism. It's almost like that. Like me and a lady are just talking or small talking too long, and it's just like I'll have to come out with the truth that I'm running out of things to say. I don't do this. I just fuck.
I mean, hey, goddamn, like, I mean, we talked about this plenty already.
Yeah.
Like, dog, like if that is what it is what it is. Like, don't change for nobody but yourself. And if it's been working for you at this point, that's what's been working. And me personally, like, you know, I mentioned this to you before. Like, maybe my circumstances may develop into that now that I'm here. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because just like
that's what I was asking you earlier. Like the discipline. Like, have you felt that difference?
And like I said, I've been tested on
challenged.
it. I've been tested on it, and it's like, yo, I already know that I'm gonna have to stick to my guns and the discipline that I've developed at this point to actually go through with these things, because it's only gonna allow me to live more in the image that I see for myself in my head. Like that's one of my other like internal goals. I want this image, how I see myself, to actually be like reality.
100%.
You know what I mean? And that's just one of them.
When we set up that entertainment system, you getting like a game out here for that?
I got my Switch.
Another game?
This is going. You want me to spend all my damn money? God damn! You buy me the game, bitch.
I said, get the new PlayStation 5 so I can come over here and feel alive. And we can play VR while we buy. Like,
what was he saying earlier? What joke? We was saying a whole lot of shit earlier. All the fucking jokes.
I already forgot too. And then what's gonna come to my mind as soon as
the main one was like, turn around and that's talking fucking
stupid ass nigga. No, but I was just looking at the wooden table and shit, and I was just like, oh, he about to set it up. But you got to switch and shit. I don't imagine we'll be playing much more Brawl. Don't imagine that.
I mean, we could. I still got it. Well, not Brawl, but Smash.
Smash. Ultimate. Oh, yeah. Because it's the new version.
Yeah, Ultimate.
Then I know we ain't going to be playing a lot of that. Well, you might be, but...
Honestly, I let my niece and my nephews play that shit. I haven't touched it in forever. I've been playing Pokemon and Legend of Zelda. That's it.
Dog, the only games I could touch now is like... Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 4. Mm-hmm. Like... I'm down to 2 games. It's like this adult life. I remember the stages, the level ups, stopping playing toys and stuff. Mm-hmm. My nephew kept me from that for a while because I was his only medium in that area, so I could play with him for a long time. But like, you get old enough, and it's just like that imagination or that fun with imagination isn't there anymore. Mm-hmm. So you break away from that. You're playing video games, and then after you get to this adult stage where you don't have time for a lot of shit. Like I've not drawn, like, you know how I used to draw the anime and stuff like that.
Shit.
I've not drawn in a long time, and it's because like drawing can take hours, and sometimes you could just be kicking it with your sketchbook all day, and I don't have that kind of time anymore as an adult.
I thought you should do that maybe just like as like something that's like stress relief, like just something you just do. I should
like.
I'm gonna get you a sketchbook
just as much as I do rapping, and I bought a sketchbook. That's the fucked up part. I be sitting there like just having the tools and never utilizing the tools because I'm just feeling like I'm overwhelmed with how much I should be doing.
And that's why you gotta organize, you gotta plan. Like,
yeah.
I'm telling you, listen. The fact of the matter is that and we can end it off here, but the fact of the matter is that going forward in the rest of our lives, because we have the rest of our lives, there's going to be things that have to happen in order for us to keep getting better. Like I just said, it's been an unspoken thing that we have to keep getting better.
100%.
And if we're not challenging ourselves and we're not challenging each other to get better,
right?
What the fuck is the point of all this shit?
Right.
Like what the fuck? What would be the point of this? Like if we didn't sit here and be like, yo, let's really do this shit like for real this time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And take it seriously and look to actually be more than where we are now. Like, nigga, honestly, I ain't even tell you about this shit yet, but like, I want this shit to be a real thing going forward. Like, I want the fucking studio, nigga. I want, like, you know, like you said, the better mics and shit.
Right.
I want the better quality of video, different cameras, nigga. I want,
like, so it can shoot at different angles, nigga, and shit,
like,
catch us singularly and full scale.
Nigga, I want all this shit, dog. Like, it's nothing that I'm telling you. We can do all this shit.
I was about to say it's not impossible. Like, it's all tangible shit.
And this goes back to just, you know, I believe in God.
Because we're doing it now.
I believe in God. So he made man to do any and everything. Like, all this shit is man-made. Man created this shit. Mm-hmm. God gave us the ability to create things with these fucking hands. Mm-hmm. To envision it and fucking bring it into reality. That being said, you don't gotta tell me shit else.
Okay.
We created this pod. I created this fucking space. I like those photos. Like, nigga, you created your music, your art. Like, it's all can be done. It can all be done. I'm telling you, though, like, this shit going forward, I'm feeling more reinvigorated than I ever.
That's
felt
the word that was really
life.
just popping in my head, and I'm glad you feel that. Because it's like I told you earlier when you were mentioning, like, just how we've affected each other in each other's lives. I feel like this is that motivation that is perfect timing for me. Mm-hmm. Like, I know I've been in this space and don't get comfortable. Mm-hmm. You know, don't get comfortable just because I've been in this space. Keep moving forward and keep putting in, keep laying the groundwork for the next level. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
And I'm telling you, though, like, it's and we've already sown the seeds that we need to sow just to grow these shits. Like,
I love it.
I'm already I don't even want to get into everything I'm planning on doing because, like, I just want to just do it.
Do it rather than say it.
Nigga,
yeah.
Like, oh my God, like, this shit, it gets me excited thinking about it, like, and knowing that it's gonna be done. Not even an if, it's just a matter of when.
Right.
Like, it's just a matter of when. And the fact of the matter is that all I gotta do is just fucking do it consistently. Ooh. With discipline. Like, nigga, I'm back in the gym. I'm eating right. I'm fucking I'm taking pictures. We're gonna upgrade this fucking pod. Nigga, like, I'm getting, like, nigga, you don't understand. Like, oh my God. I'm telling you, yo, I feel like I'm just about to go Super Saiyan on these niggas. Like, oh, it's crazy.
I love it.
It's fucking crazy.
I love it.
I'm telling you, dog. Like, oh
as you should, nigga. And this is episode 6, is it?
Yeah, niggas done come too far for this shit. Like, yo.
Looking back, dog, that's a further journey than we know. That's a lot of time that we were spending in circumstances we didn't want to be in to get to where we are.
Dog.
Jesus.
On some real shit. Like,
I would not want to go back.
All from sitting at that fucking McDonald's.
Sitting at McDonald's, we was sitting there before we could use getting your chore money. I was working at the parking lot and shit, like, motherfucking, before we even had the McDonald's funds and shit, like, just kicking it, like, just it would come down to these kind of conversations where we really get serious about the topics of life. Mm-hmm. And motherfucking looking at how we was gonna move forward. Goddamn, it takes vision. Mm-hmm. It takes vision. You had to see this before you saw it.
Nigga, like, and now it just comes down to just doing it, and I want to do it all.
Good shit.
I want to do it all.
Let's get it done.
Yeah. But that
speaking
being
of
said,
done,
you know,
this episode is over.
It's over.
It was good talking to y'all though, man, and it was therapeutic speaking to you today. Congratulations again. I wish I had my glass next to me to refill my cup.
Yeah, I mean, goddamn, let's fucking do, you know, a little empty cheers. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
you know, to new beginnings and also to more success.
More success.
Boom. Jerry Bird, nigga.
Birds, nigga.
Gang.
Flat. That's about to be a